Hi, today we're going to be talking about damaged merchandise and what you do with that product when you find it. We're going to be talking about damaged textbooks in a bit, but for now we're going to focus on general merchandise, and that would include everything except the textbooks. So clothing, school supplies, gifts, things like that. So first off, why do we even have damaged merchandise? Well, there are three different instances where you could find something damaged. The first is a shipment arrives, you're receiving that, and you notice that a handle is broken off a mug, or you have a t-shirt that has a split in the seam. In those cases, you're going to indicate on the packing slip what exactly and how many are damaged, and then you're going to partner with the manager so we can take care of getting credit or returning the damaged item or whatever needs to be done in that specific instance. The second situation would be when you're walking the sales floor. You might stumble upon a notebook that has a creased cover, or maybe you're cleaning up at the end of the day and you see a pack of pens where one of the pens is missing from the pack. In cases like that, you're going to take that merchandise off the sales floor and you're going to fill out a damaged GM form. The third instance would be a customer might want to return something that is now damaged. In a case like this, you want to make sure you're partnering with the manager, because you do need manager approval to accept a damaged item for return. That's because maybe the customer broke it or they washed an item incorrectly and they want a return or a refund on that item. So in those three instances, you're going to find that you're dealing with merchandise that's damaged and you have to do something with it. So here you're going to see the general merchandise damaged return cart. And on this cart, it's quite a mess right now, and this is not that unusual, which is why we're focusing today on how to handle damaged merchandise. So in this case, you have a shirt here that's just folded up and it says needs a tag. This is an item that shouldn't even be here. If something needs a tag, you go and make a tag right away and return that to the sales floor. You might find items like this. I'm not sure why we would need to save that. That's just something that needs to be tossed. And then you also see some things without a note, and you see some things with handwritten notes. So the problem with just writing on little pieces of paper is not all the information is there, and we may not even know what this goes with any longer. So instead of just putting a little sticky note on something, you want to make sure that you're using one of these damaged GM slips. And if there aren't any around, you can locate these inside of OneDrive under General Merchandise, and then I believe this is just simply called damaged slip or damaged GM, and you print that off. So what you want to do in this case then is make sure you're putting all the information here. The description of the item, along with the UPC number, your name and date, so that if we have a question, we know who to go to get that information, and then a brief explanation such as customer returned, Matt approved this for an exchange. So you want to fill that out in detail. What you have here is an example of an item that was taken back. I'm sure that this was a customer accommodation, because this is a great example of an item that was washed incorrectly, but a customer accommodation was made and the item was swapped out for a new item. So here there's no tag. So a lot of people will just leave a note that says customer returned. But we actually need a lot more information than that, because if we need to mark this out of stock, we need the UPC. So all you're going to do in a case like this is go to the sales floor, find the same item. This is a size medium, long sleeve tee. Here's a new one. And then now you have the UPC item, the UPC number, and the price, and anything else you need to complete this form. Then you're going to take this form to the item and return that to the merchandise return or merchandise damaged cart. And from there, a manager knows all the information that they need to quickly write that item out of stock, contact the vendor to get a replacement, or whatever else might need to be done. Now we're going to talk about damaged textbooks and how you would handle those. So when you receive textbooks from a publisher, that new textbook that arrived could have something wrong with it. In the case of a new textbook and getting a book in from a publisher, anything including even a bend on the corner of the book, or something wrong with the spine of that book, or a little tear, minor damages are damaged products in the case of a new textbook. So you're going to want to pull that book and you're going to want to fill out a damaged slip. And in the back room across from the UPS computer, you're going to see the cancel damaged textbook cart. And on the side of the cart, you have a folder that includes the damaged book forms. You're going to pull one of those damaged book forms when you're filling out the information on that damaged textbook. Another time you might have a book that's damaged would be a book coming in from TextNet, in which case that would be a used textbook. So you'll want to hand that off to a manager so the manager can handle that used textbook. It takes a little more to classify a used textbook as damaged because obviously the textbook is used already, so there are going to be some problems with it. The damage would have to be severe in this case, a cover completely torn off, or pages falling out of the book, or water damage to that book where it starts getting wrinkled and crinkly. So in that case, you're going to want to take that to a manager. But when you're dealing with a shipment of books and you see something damaged, or you find a brand new book on the floor and it looks damaged to you, that's when you're going to go and fill out a damaged textbook form. All this form requires you to do is to put the title, the ISBN, and how many damaged books you're talking about, the publisher that came from, what that damage to the book is. Maybe it's not really evident at first, so you're going to want to explain that. You're going to date it and put your name so that, again, the manager knows who to go and talk to about that specific problem. After you fill that out, you're going to tape it to the book or pile of books, and you're going to leave it here on the cancel damage card for a manager to deal with later.